look at them and I say, no way, Jose. Why is it that our fears control us so much? They affect our relationships, our peace of mind, and they prevent us from reaching our full potential. Think about the fears you have and how they control you. Raise your hand if you'd like to experience victory over your fears. Anybody here? Good. No one's afraid to put their hand up. Okay, great. Oh, that's good. Now, where do we start? The first thing we need to understand is where fear comes from. It might surprise you to learn that fear does not originate in our heads. No. Fear originates in our hearts. You see, our hearts have three main desires that motivate a lot of what we do. And you might want to write these down. I have the list right here. The things that we most desire in our hearts are these things: comfort, security, power, control, and affirmation, approval. These are the things that motivate a lot of what we do in our lives. Now, when these desires are disrupted, it causes a variety of feelings and emotions to be stirred up in our hearts. Things like anger, or anxiety, or fear. And when those things happen to us, anxiety and fear. Don't you hate that when you just go brain dead for a second? So anxiety and fear. All of us? Oh, now that we do know these things, what do we start with? What do we do? To begin answering this question, I want to tell you a personal story. A long time ago, I was at an adventure park, similar to the one that's out in Moa. Raise your hand if you've been to the adventure park or you know what I'm talking about. Right? Most of you. But basically, an adventure park is just a very elaborate obstacle course in the trees with ropes and all kinds of things. And at the obstacle course I was at, there was this tall pole at the end of the obstacle course. Kind of like a telephone pole. But it had metal pegs on the side so you could climb up. And I put on this harness, safety harness, with a safety line hooked up, and I had a safety helmet on, so I should have been very safe, right? And I stood at the base of that pole, and I looked up, and up. Holy cow, that was really tall. I really, really didn't want to climb up that pole. But I was with a lot of friends at this adventure park, and so my pride prevented me from not doing it. So I took a deep breath. Okay, I'm safe. So I started climbing up this pole, and about 2/3 the way up, the pole started doing this, side to side. Okay? My heart really started beating, my legs were shaking, and I'm thinking, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to make it. But I thought, okay, I'm going to keep going. So I go up to the top. And you wouldn't believe what we had to do when we got to the top. We had to take our hands off the top of the pole and put our feet, stand on our feet, and stand up on the pole. Now realize, when you lift your hands off the pole, there's no place to put your hands to be secure. Right? And also remember, the pole is going like this. So from the motion of stepping up onto the pole was one of the most intense, fearful experiences of my entire life. But I did it. And I didn't die. Hallelujah. What was interesting is I noticed afterwards that some of my fears no longer affected me. No, I discovered something. I discovered that when you face your fears, that instead of avoiding them, fear loses its grip on you. And so I said, oh, this is something I need to practice a lot more. So it's for you too. We all need to understand this, that the secret, remember this, the secret to overcoming fear is to face them. It's the only way we can do that. So everyone, I want you to say after me, face your fears, loud. Face your fears. After I say it, face your fears.
Face your fears.
All right? That's what we have to do. But how do we do that? Let me share 5 steps with you that might help you to do this. Step 1, oh, you know what? Now I see what I forgot to do. Okay, so I'm going to add it in here. Sorry about that. But there's the 3 main heart desires we have. I shared them with you. Well, I thought I said that one. Anyway, going on to the 5 steps. The first step is that we have to identify the fears that control us. You have to be brutally honest with yourself and don't make excuses and write a list down of them. And here's 3 questions you could ask to help you to determine your fears. What do I avoid? What makes me worry? And what makes me afraid? Step 2, take your list that you have and show it to one of your friends who knows you well and that you respect and trust, and ask them for feedback, because they may see things about you that you don't see yourself. Step 3, seek to understand why these fears control you. See how they connect to your heart. Step 4, find someone that will support you and encourage you and hold you accountable as you face your fears. It is way, way, way easier to face your fears with others than to do it alone. So remember that if you are a guest tonight, Toastmasters is a great place to face the fear of speaking. You will experience victory over it here. In conclusion, I want you to remember 3 things. 1, everybody has fears that control them. You're not alone. 2, identify your fears and understand why they control you. 3, face your fears and fear will lose its power over you. Paraphrasing William Wallace from the movie Braveheart, everyone dies, aye, but not everyone truly lives. Face your fears and you will truly live. Aye?
Aye.